Hey guys, my name is Cidiac and welcome back to another episode of Dead End here in City Skylines. But today we are going to be taking a look at the remaining unique factories that we have to offer to all of our citizens. Now, we pretty much extended the cargo line recently on the other side of the Deconner River. And with that now set up, all of our industries, including the ore industries, we also extended to with trains as well. We now have good connections to them. We can import and export goods pretty easily, which means that our unique factories can finally be finalized, and hopefully we can get all of them added in today. So if you guys enjoyed this, want to see more, then make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you're notified when that next episode does come out. But we're back, boys. We are back. So, there's a few things we got to get set up then. So, within the unique factories, I was kind of taking a little bit of a look at them right now. We've got quite a few remaining, which hopefully I can squeeze in. So, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in total. Our first one happens to be the lemonade factory. So this one requires crops and also requires glass. Now, obviously, we're making crops from here, you know, produce crops from the farming industry. I believe the glass comes from the ore industry. It does. So what would be the easier option? To bring the glass to the farming industry or bring the crops to the ore industry? You know what I mean? It's a bit of a tough one. It is a bit of a tough one. Do we have any glass nearby? We have metals there, petroleum, plastics. Obviously, we'll have everything stored there locally anyway. Didn't we have like a bunch of factories over here? Right, does any of it store? Okay, so we've got some glass already being stored up here. But it would require me bringing up crops. Now, to bring up crops, if I was to go down that road, it requires a silo or a barn, which these... Oh, they can be built outside of the farm industry. Ah. Right, that showed me. I was going to say, I don't think we're going to be able to do so. So that might mean I'm able to build this kind of lemonade factory, which is actually quite a huge building, anywhere that I want. Now, it's a tough one to kind of decide where to go with it. I could literally keep it over here, or I should, you know, I've got the ability to kind of import, export the goods. So maybe in an area that will kind of be really, really handy with industrial, maybe crude. You know, we've recently extended and added in some farm initiatives around here. This will be kind of nice. But the question always comes into play, where would you place it? Well, we've got the import-export area just here for the shipping side of things. So what if I implemented and I came out slightly just here, and it feels kind of random to put the this lemonade factory here right now. It does kind of low-key feel completely random, but we might be able to add a few little additional items around and to it. So bringing that slightly up, because we can always level it out on the other side. We're going to add a few more objects to this. Whoa! What just happened? That was not meant to happen, boy. That was not meant to happen right there. We'll also bring up slightly the road. Just raise that kind of a little bit just there. And smoothing that out. You wouldn't even know that it's not on the same level anymore. So before we add anything to it then, we are going to need the stuff for it. It requires crops. It also requires glass. So a couple of things I could do. I could run another road just kind of down parallel here, which allows us to kind of drop a few little bits and bobs to it. But also allow me to create, and if I come out by 5, there we go. And let's do like a 10 by 10. And then, yeah, bring it down to where it's kind of like in line with that. So within this then, we can place down the 2 storage buildings needed for the glass, the crops, and I potentially could do like another warehouse for the unique goods with what this produces, basically. So do we go quite small? What are these sizes like? I think we can kind of get away. I can put 2 buildings like this just here. And then the croppage building, I've got options of silos or barns. I think we'll go silos because it kind of looks like it's all part of this industry at this point, doesn't it? So here we're storing glass, and then we'll just pump out the unique factory goods. So that kind of covers this whole little area. It slightly becomes a little mini industrial area. Now, I won't actually fully, because I'm going to put some industrial zoning as well. But I won't fully complete this area, just in case there's like another unique factory that could benefit from this. So we'll come back to that. I'm actually kind of liking this little mini industrial estate, if you want to put it that way. So we're already getting some farming vehicles pumping through, as you can now see, because they go purple when you got the barn highlighted and farming. So they're in the vicinity is the best way to put it. So there we go. Next, the clothing factory, which requires crops, but this one is meat and plastics. So meat and plastics. So again, meat is farming industry, plastics is oil industry, and then what was it? I've already forgot what the third one was. Crops. So crops. So we need to bring stuff from the farming industry and oil. Well, plastics from the plastics from the oil industry. Oh my! I can't even speak. It's always dead end that happens to me right now. It's always dead end that happens to me right now with all that. So we are. Well, we should be. Is there factories around here? Storing flour there, animal products there. We've got a bunch of silo stuff here storing the crops. So all I really need to do is bring over locally and store some plastics. That would kind of save us a lot of the hassle, because it's only bringing one item over versus bringing two out of here. So it's a case of how big is this? It's a pretty decent size. It is a pretty decent size. So we got to figure out where we could benefit the most. So let's just check the topography of this area. So it's more flat down here. We have a nice flat bit just there. We'd have to move some of this. It's quite flat around here, to be honest with you. Why don't we utilize this space here? It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? So I could either bring it off this, because we already have the 2 lanes. If they're turning in, that is pretty much fine. I mean, it's not the be-all end-all kind of this area, but it kind of works. I could do a 10 by 10 here to kind of bend this around. Would it make sense to get that there connected all the way down? To give them an additional connection, as opposed to, you know, pretty much solely using this. I think what I would do is after you kind of bring the speed limit slightly down, but it could work. So the factory itself is pretty large. I don't know whether to get it off that, thus sticking it out a little bit, so it's not particularly dead smack bang on this area. I think I'll come out by a 5. So do something like that. Right, it's going to kill off the electrical grid, which, to be honest with you, I don't need this no more. And it's going down to there, so we'll keep it there. It's got some benefit to a certain extent on that side. So having this beautiful little clothing store right now means we can then start implementing some of the goods. So I don't know whether I should bring the crops and the animal products over. I don't feel like it's needed because we're so close to these storage areas anyway. But plastics is going to be a big one. So I feel like I need a larger than normal kind of storage facility. Just because I feel like... Hang on, what's the best one that will kind of squeeze in? I feel like we're going to consistently get the animal products that we need and the crops that will always be waiting for plastics. That's how I feel. So, yeah, I think implementing something like this in somewhere would be a good idea. I don't know if to get it on the opposite side or to kind of create an extension of the road. So if I delete you and delete you, I'm going to come out by 2 down. Come out by 2 down. So a little bit on the bend, but I can run this. I don't know how this is going to work. A 5 and a 2, as if the road ended there. How would this work? I don't have a particularly good feeling about this. So if that was there, does it look like... Yeah, it kind of feels like it's part of the building. And all I've got to do is make it store plastics. So it requires animal products, crops, which it's already got. again, I feel like it's always going to be waiting for plastics, so we'll throw that in. I haven't really seen many vehicles use this, so I still feel like this is the quicker route for those guys. So no issues, no stress. I think we'll be perfectly fine. So there we go for the clothing factory. Nice. So then, moving forward, we're then taking a look at the soft paper factory, which requires, oh my goodness me, crops, paper, petroleum, and plastic. Now, you would think, you know, this is more heavily wood industry kind of based, but no, it's more oil based. There's petroleum and plastics. Let's carry it on. Let's carry it on. So, right, interesting. Now we need obviously that kind of the paper, which we're producing paper. Sorry, we're not producing paper. Where's the warehouse storing the paper? Where's my storage buildings? So that is raw resources. Am I blind? Can I just not see the factories that we have set up for them? Wait. Do we not have factories set up for them? Do they highlight? Yo, I don't believe we have any factories set up for them, or I'm just really that blind. We actually don't, do we? No. So that's in, and don't even have the look. Need plastics. That's shocked me that I have not got that set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to cancel that there. And what we'll do right now, we'll kind of bring this down and connect it as a T, but then kind of bring this up and out. So I'm going to bring that down by 20, going to run it up as well. And this is where we can then base down like a bunch of storage buildings right now. That will really, really help us out. So this size, perfectly spaced there, or I can go nice and big. But I'm not going to go nice and big like that. I'm going to drop 2 there. I'll do a space for a road and then drop another 2. And then, yeah, we'll keep it like that for now. So that space there here is for this road. Let's kind of run through. So obviously we are producing over here the paper, the plain timber. But from these 2 factories that we have over here right now, one of them requires plastics. So if I make one of them require plastics, now our unique factories, the soft paper one, paper has the plastics in this region, doesn't have the petroleum or the crops. And it is a very, very large building. So I'll keep that one empty, but I feel like this needs to go somewhere else. There's just not enough room over here. There really is not enough room. So power's in. Water kind of, yeah, pretty much covers it right now. So that one will remain empty until we might have something that can kind of come over here. But that's very important to have this. Oh, do you know what it can actually be for now? The unique goods, unique factory products, which I didn't add one of these to this one. And we also, do we still have the bakery around this area? Yeah. Which is also going to need the unique factory products warehouse, which I'll see if I can kind of squeeze in a small little yard like this. If I just drop it there, just so we have one within like the vicinity, that's pretty much all it's for. Yeah. So, okay, back to this then, because this is quite a large building right now. The soft paper factory. So, paper, petroleum, plastics. So now I'm defaulting back up to here. So plastics, glass, metals. We don't have... Oh, we got animal products over here. What do we need again? Sorry. So it doesn't tick all the boxes, which is fine. Maybe we can create a brand new area for it. So over here, glass, crops. Again, we need a few more other items on top of it. So we might, to be honest with you, we might just kind of create a whole new area altogether. We had the plastics, we had the petroleum. To be honest with you, this is another thing as well. We have 2 of the items within the oil industry, so I might as well just bring the paper and the crops over to this area. that makes, you know, a lot more sense too. So again, let's look at topography. So looking around, it probably makes more sense to kind of build it up on this little structure. It does slightly kind of gradually go up. Not an issue, because I can extend you. Let's go by another 10. Right, bring it straight across like that. Oh, actually, do you know what? It's actually bigger than I thought. Alright, bring that to there. So if I place it there towards the end, and then I'm hoping I can maybe utilize this road, going slightly around it. Just kind of end in here, and then maybe we can throw a few little bits and bobs in. So it really, in reality, it has the petroleum plastic. We need paper and crops. That's what we need right now. Paper and crops. So we'll always be waiting for those goods. So we're going to go quite big on these factories. So that will be for the paper. And then the crops itself, again, it comes down to the fact that it's... I'm going to do silos. We'll do a couple of silos right now, storing crops locally. I feel like it kind of makes sense. And then we'll extend the water. Power's pretty much all there. And then just a little bit of the smoothing right now, just to kind of bulk this all out. Just take the edges off the dramatic drops that we kind of do have into play. And yeah, we'll just go with that for now. So that sets up a whole industry there. I know it's, you got to go round, but it's a straight road to this area, and there's a highway connection just there. Most importantly, nice little connection. Have this whole cargo section right now where there's loads of planes. So imports and exports should be pretty good. I say pretty good, pretty good. So, okay, let's leave that one for now. And then we're back onto it. So we've got 4 remaining. So now we've got the food factory, which is paper, plastics, food, and flour. So food and flour both come from this industry. We also then require, like I said, paper and plastics. Now, we're already bringing over plastics here. So again, we just need to bring down some paper. And then we can have the food factory in this area. But how big is it? So it's pretty decent. And should we try and create it around this region here? It's a sideways on building. So if I came out, I'm going to use these side streets again, by 10, and just pumped our way up by 25. And then slightly go down and to the right. How does a building here sit on a corner? So it sits there wonderfully. Just going to move this. There we go. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. We'll raise these 2 bits. Probably raise that corner piece a bit more. There we go. And maybe drop this down. Just a tad bit. And I think then just smoothing it all out. We're Gucci, mate. We're gonna be Gucci. So a bit of water. It's clearly got the power. It's right next door to wind turbines. So all it needs, like I said, is the paper. So I'm going to put this right behind it. Sell it to paper. And I'll raise that a bit too. There we go. Wonderful. And it's got the unique factory thingy section over there. Whether it uses it or not, it's entirely up to them. But there is localized storage within the vicinity. So that leaves us then with 3. With 3 more to go. So this next one then is the sneaker factory, which is crops, petroleum, paper, and plastics. So this is another one that's going to be handy within this area again. The only thing that we would require is petroleum. to bring it over in this section. So, and the way that building goes, I think if I move this more to this side, the slope is too steep as well. Right, let me just drop it there real quick. Only because the length of that building fits wonderfully in this section. So then if I bring that brush size down and just kind of dug this out a bit, move this back. Oh, still too steep. There we go. And then the warehouse, drop it here. So where that one requires the petroleum, this one requires the paper, but that one also requires the paper, but it's all there for them. Proper minefield when you're getting all this together, isn't it? It is a proper minefield. Right, gonna bring this out from the bottom first. There we go. So it looks like it's all part of this big mound that we can really, really enjoy. And there we go. Glorious. So this area should be thriving very soon. Again, it's near train lines to export, near the cargo lines to get out of here. So good little areas. And then, guys, there was two. So now we've got the modular house factory, which is timber, plastics, glass, and metals. Timber, plastics, glass, and metals. So glass and metals are from over here. Plastics are from over here. Timber's from over here. So it's easier to move, because these are this area is doing 2. It's easier to move, you know, 2 over there, or if I put it there, then I'm moving 3 items. So it makes sense to move it to over here. Now, do we... Again, I don't think we have warehouses around here. See, they're producing the metals, boys. We don't have warehouses around here. Now, how big is this? It's a decent sized building. And then my next kind of... I won't say issue, but my next problem is, if I was to pull it up here, where would I put it? But forgetting that for a second, one of my issues I got right now is that these guys aren't storing anything locally for the goods it's producing. It's storing the ore, but that's about it. Oh, you don't have power? Wait, what? The power's clearly connected there. Oh, maybe there's not enough power being produced. Right, there we go. There was enough power being produced. So, okay. I'm going to drop in then a couple of warehouses to store these goods. But again, my other issues are, where do I put them? I'm going to put one either side of another. Just so we're storing it locally. Which will be glass. It will be metals. And then I'll have a third one. Which is the unique factory products. Just so, because this, forgetting what I'm doing right now, they don't have what they need to be able to kind of function in many ways. So at least this is going to allow them to store the goods, whether or not I put that new factory within this area. So anyway, back to where we was. Yes, the modular house factory. It's just a case of, it's so... I mean, you wouldn't build modular houses in the ore industry, would you? No. So what do we need again? Let's kind of go through this. Metal, glass, plastics, timber. So, metals, glass, plastics. Oh, all I got to do is bring timber over here. Oh, okay, we've got it. So again, one more kind of look at the topography. All right, we're gonna have to kind of do something ourselves around here. What's this? That is a recycling center. If I can move the recycling centers... Is this all garbage, by the way? No. Well, let me get rid of that. Move this recycling center and place it more over here. I wonder if I can squeeze it like here. So I definitely could, but the problem is it's not the right road. So let me just upgrade this road. So if I put that there, do some smoothing in all over again. I feel like I want to sort that out a bit more. We'll roll with it. We have our modular house factory, which is going to require timber nearby. So we'll go with... See, I can pull it there. I could also squeeze it considerably here. So it's just all nearby. Best way to put it. Plain timber. Unique factories nearby as well. So that would do what we need it to do. I feel like we need to sort the turning abilities out on here. Because they're turning here to obviously go to the cargo area. But not all of them want to do that. So if I upgraded this to an asymmetrical road, which will be you. There we go. We have these dedicated left and right turns. So either they're going straight on or left or right. We have a lane dedicated for them. I should actually set it up where this is that turn only. And that will then be able to kind of funnel in 2 vehicles at once without doing minimal efforts. And you can see the vehicles are now slowly starting to reduce anyway. So the ones turning right, left, sorry, have their own lane. Keeping the right lane moving to go straight ahead or to the right. So, not bad. We'll give it some time. It will settle itself down. Is what it is. Right. We have one remaining unique factory. Which is an interesting one, because it's the shipyard. And the reason why this is an interesting one, it has to be placed along the waterfront. So that's when we get limited to where we can actually pull it. So it needs pretty much everything that the modular house needed. Plastics, glass, metals, planed timber. But the problem is, where do I pull it? I mean, I can pull it down here, which will then pull from the warehouses over here. It's probably the best option. I could also pull it in Browntown. That's quite hilarious, isn't it? So yeah, it's an interesting one to where I'd pull it, unless I just dedicate a whole area for it. So what we got coming over here? Glass, and crops. Yeah, okay, so it's not really gonna sort us out, so to speak. It wouldn't fit in any of them because it's too far away from the shoreline. It's kind. I mean, here does sound like the better option. Alright, it does sound like the better option. I wonder if I just came off this road. Just that, like here, for example. That would snap in wonderfully. And I'll just unhook the road. You know, I don't need to. We'll just connect it back up like this. Believe it or not, it kind of works. Move that just to there. So, yeah, it's going to have to drive to get the goods to it. But, I mean, it's a short journey. I say it's a short journey. They've got to go through Browntown. But again, it's literally just there. It's like, there's no issue, is there really? It does what it needs to do. It gives these guys more kind of stuff to kind of work on, more industries, all that growth. And that is everything. That is every unique factory that I can then squeeze in the game. So as time goes on, it'll be interesting to see how much money we do start to continually make. My industries, like requiring plastics and like timber, are gonna start needing to produce more goods to kind of now keep up with the new demand. So we have that to kind of think about too. So as time goes on and it all settles down, we can then really start to see where we're losing out. Now, a lot of the issues would be the fact that we've got no goods for them to go into the buildings because they're driving all the goods right now to fill up warehouses like they're doing for the plastic. The oil industry, how much plastic does it produce? It doesn't actually produce that much plastic. So we like going around making sure that we're doing and producing more and more stuff. So that one produces the plastics right now, and we've only got wait, do we have, where is it? Where is this building? I have no idea. Oh, maybe we're using a different style of one. Are we using this one? Ah. We're using this one, aren't we? Yeah, we're using it here. So if I drop a couple more down. There we go. And then we'll go for some larger style ones. So that will heavily start producing more plastic, but also we need to produce some more petroleum. So get a few more of these squeezed in. Get a couple over here. Very good, very good. So that will then up our production. So not in industry area. Ah. So industry area. Boom. Just bump it in slightly. What are you, by the way? You're a unique factory. So yeah, we should then be able to start producing more petroleum, more plastics right now, because we're definitely producing a lot of oil. So that should kind of supplement and keep up with the demand. So it'll be interesting to see how it kind of progresses as time goes on. It really, really would. But with all those new factories added in, it's now created a pretty decent residential demand. We're over 100,000 right now, which was one of my main goals. What's wrong with you right now? Not enough raw materials. Damn. It was one of my main goals to kind of get it to where we've currently got it right now. We've completed that, and it's now just making sure we perfect the whole of the region. So industries right now, we're making a 45 grand profit off the factory side of things. All of my industries apart from the fishing industry and the farming industry have taken a big hit. But I can only assume because we've technically switched over the output. Before, they were producing the goods to sell and export. Now all these industries are producing the goods, then taking them into a warehouse before the unique factories do start to use them. So that's where you're going to see the difference. You'll see this shift between the profit being made from the industries going down, but the unique factory profit going dramatically high. So that's where you're going to start to see the switch coming in. So again, like I said, it'll be very, very interesting to see how it kind of progresses as time goes on. That little fix right there kind of done us some wonders. Pretty good. Some of this stuff is going to be waiting for goods for quite some time. But we got a lot of abilities to kind of bring the goods in locally anyway, so there's no stresses, no worries. We're going to be alright. Oh wait, did I not connect this by power? How did I not connect this via power this whole time? Right, a couple of wind turbines, that will kind of produce some delicious power for us. Will it be enough though? Yes. It is. So we'll just end this very nicely right now. Some couple of trees going around for that area. Beautiful. I like crude. Crude is nice. But yeah, we'll end it for here then, guys. So we're interested to see where it progresses. So around about 45,000, 57,000 profit of the unique industries. It went up to 86 total profit from our industries. Oh my goodness me. That's good. That's real good. So it will fluctuate a lot depending on when the exports go out. But next episode we'll go around all our industries just to make sure that we're producing as much as possible, because these guys are requiring more oil. So we do need to pull out more oil from the ground. But this is very, very exciting news. Are these got the goods too? Yeah, exciting news, guys. So, hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, good.